Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Home Lee, and I'm here with a short little video of some pickups or mail call or whatever you want to call it for late November. This is some stuff that I've kind of had cooking for a little while. I'm going to apologize. I've got a bit of a head cold today, and that's compounded by the fact that I was trying to get our Christmas stuff out of storage day after Thanksgiving, and I was trying to holler to my wife to let her know that I had found some of the ornaments. If she wanted to come get them, she could do that, and that way I wouldn't have to make multiple trips. I could just get the tree and our big box of ornaments and come that way. But she couldn't hear me, so I hollered to her 3 times, and I've kind of thrown my voice out. So I apologize for being a little bit quiet there today. So first off, I'm going to start. Got a package from Foam Blast here. I really love the ladies at Foam Blast. They do an excellent job of getting stuff out to people. They do it in a timely manner when they can. So I've already opened it up to kind of check everything. When I get a package, I'm kind of like a kid at Christmas most of the time. It's kind of difficult for me to keep stuff sealed until a video. But to start off, I've got a Stalking Dead bandana. I got the blue one. I think Out of Darts might have been in charge of the blue team. I'm not entirely certain. I think that was him. I think Captain Xavier was red and Beret was yellow or orange or whatever. This is a pretty good feeling bandana here. I mean, it feels pretty robust. Got the Foam Blast logo, the Out of Darts logo, Silver Fox Industries and Containment Crew logos on there. And then we've got the zombie hands here. We've got Beret with what appears to be a Jolt. We've got Luke, or Out of Darts, with a Hurricane and a Proton pack. And then we've got Captain Xavier in full armor with Tyr. This is a pretty cool thing. I wasn't able to go to Ragnar Oktoberfest. I wasn't able to participate in the Stalking Dead, but Foam Blast was selling the extras on their website, and all the proceeds go to charity. And I had seen this and I really liked the looks of it, and I wanted to pick one up. So that was a great opportunity for me to be able to get that. I add that with my indoor bandanas and whatnot. Next, I got a set of Containment Crew Cyclones. I picked those up. Planning on putting those in my Foxfire build, along with this little beauty. To start with my P housing, I printed one of the P housings, and there will be an update video coming up for that probably in a couple of weeks. I'd like to shoot it sometime in the next couple of days, but I'm still waiting on a package from Out of Darts with some components, and this week it looks like I'm going to be busier than a one-legged man in the butt kicking contest, because I have something going on about every afternoon after work this week. So it'll probably be a couple of weeks before I get started on putting that together and shooting videos and everything. And what I'm planning on doing is, I did the volume 1 talking about the parts that I had printed. Volume 2 is going to be the finished printing, possibly pre-cleanup, and then the third video will be after I get everything kind of put together. But I want to do my next video on the Foxfire to be all of the parts and the cages and the wheels and everything that I'm going to try to use, kind of put those together and say, you know, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm at, and then do the third video once I kind of get things finished up, or at least finished up on a main piece there. But this is a worker strife cage. This one is, I think, 43.5, if I remember correctly. It's pretty much stock crush, but it's a metal cage. Should be relatively stout, relatively easy to put in and work with and everything. And hopefully with a good metal cage, decently balanced weighted wheels like that. And then currently I'm planning on using Krakens. I may back up and use Fang revamps, not 100% certain, but with a good solid neodymium centered set of flywheel motors, should get a relatively quiet build with that metal cage. At least that's what I'm hoping for at this point. Just kind of see how things go. I know it's going to be louder than, you know, stock stuff, but I'm hoping, you know, good wheels, metal cage, that'll be decent. And this combination with the Krakens should still give me a decent HVZ potential load out there. And then, start to say lastly, but not lastly just yet, got a couple of orange thumb screws. I want to put those in with the battery door on the Foxfire. I am currently planning on making a full auto and a semi-auto core piece, but I'm working on the semi-auto first because I still need to get some practice in on my soldering and stuff like that before I'm ready to tackle the 3-switch setup. And then lastly, I've got a Ragnarok Oktoberfest badge for thing there. So yeah, I'm tickled with that. Always great to get a package from the ladies at Foam Blast. They do excellent work, and they really do everything they can to support the community. They are lovely people, and I like Out of Darts. He's got a great store. The ladies at Foam Blast are great as well, and the guys at Containment Crew aren't too shabby. Next up, I will grab this box. Yeah. This is a box that I know what it is, so I wasn't too awful excited about getting it. There have been a couple of videos. Just this morning, Zach at Naptown Nerf uploaded his video on this. I know Valor just got his. I've had mine most of a week now and haven't done anything with it yet, but I've been waiting for the chance to make a video talking about it. This is my core Retaliator Recon hybrid system. It's from Orange Mod Works. I was an early backer. I really like this exploded view of the pieces in the Retaliator. and then it has some comparison here, expected FPS or average FPS, stock recon, or Retaliator, I mean, the stock Retaliator, they were getting 79.74 feet per second. The unleashed Retaliator stage 1 and 2 with a 5K spring, they were getting 106.16 feet per second. Unleashed Retaliator stage 1 and 2 with a 7 kg spring, they were getting 122.6 feet per second. With this, the hybrid system, the 7 kg spring, they were getting 141.79 feet per second. And with this system using a 12 kg spring, they were getting 160.55 feet per second. I assume all of those were with standard elite darts. It says tests were conducted 6 inches away from the chronograph. FPS values displayed as a 20-shot average. So I assume they were using standard elites. They've got some warnings and stuff on there, but let's go ahead and pop this open. I was an early backer on this. I signed on pretty early, and actually I have also backed their Alpha Trooper or Elite Alpha Trooper and Long Shot hybrid kits as well. The Long Shot especially I'm interested in to see what it's capable of in the long run. That is a really nice box. Orange ModWorks has always had good boxes, packaging and those kinds of things. I like that bag. This is the kind of box you would expect to see in a retail store somewhere. They've got their Orange ModWorks business card, and it's embossed with the guide for installing the kit. And at the bottom of the box, you see all the pieces that are included. They have included the 7 kilogram spring, even though they have tested it with a 12 kilogram as well. I would have liked if they would have included both springs that they tested with. That way, you know, we could switch or choose between. And this bag is made where you can just tear it open with your hands. I love those foil bags that they use. Got a bolt sled and breech piece here. Got a new plunger rod. Got a new catch, metal. Got a new barrel piece and chamber there for your dart tooth area. There's the 7 kg spring. Pretty nice spring, good and stout. This is their version of the expanded plunger tube. It is metal as well. I think it's machined aluminum maybe. Let's see if it says. It just says plunger case. This isn't as big. If you watch Naptown's video on this kit, he compares it directly to the worker expanded plunger tube, which I don't have one of those. This isn't as big as that, but what Orange ModWorks did is they wanted to give the biggest plunger tube possible without having to do shell cutting. So this was the size that they found was the biggest you could go without having to do shell cutting. So I like that, so that you don't have to do any shell cutting or anything. I'll get to those parts in a minute. There's the new, I love how it's got the little orange on there. That's the new muzzle piece. It'll still take Nerf barrels. Got the attachment point on it. Got your white lithium grease, your trigger springs, your catch springs, your metal rods, your O-rings, all of that stuff. That white lithium grease is good for the metal components and moving pieces in a blaster, but for your O-rings and your seals, you're a little bit better off, I feel, to go with the silicone grease, and that's a lot of other people think that as well. And then we've got a little patch here, the CRR1 hybrid system. It's the Retaliator Recon 1 hybrid system picker badge there. So I've got that little neat piece that I can add to things. And these are the piece de resistance. These are the one thing that everybody always loved that Orange ModWorks did, and that's the metal triggers. And you've got one that's for the Retaliator and one that's for the Recon Mark II. And early backers, or the pickers for this out of the their Project Orange, got them in orange. This is the Retaliator Trigger. As you can see, it's got a nice orange color to it. The hue kind of changes with the light a little bit. And then this one was one that I thought looked really neat when I saw it in Valor's video, the Recon Mark II trigger. It's even got the little ridges there. I like that it's got a little bit of a different personality, and there is a difference between the Retaliator and the Recon Mark II on their trigger mechanisms. So, you know, they were going to need to do something different to set those apart anyway, and I like how they gave them each a separate style, if you will. That way you can kind of keep them separate. And so, you know, if you put this in one blaster, you've got a metal trigger to put in another at some point if you desire to. And my current plans for that are to put them in Recon Mark II. This is the new, I think it's one of the newer ones. I've not checked to see if it'll take drum mags. Don't have one just real handy. I'd like to put it in this. I'd like to do a pump kit with it and everything. Excuse me. However, I have heard there are issues with putting pump kits on these and doing some different things, so I'm going to have to play with it and see. I've heard one thing is like these slots are more narrow on the Recon Mark II than they are with the Retaliator. I'm just going to have to see, because I really like this. I really like the hand guard on it. I kind of like the aesthetics of it better. You know, put a Recon or maybe a long shot, or not a long shot, but a long strike barrel on there, pump grip, and get a different stock. But the Recon Mark II is just a nice little blaster, so that's what I'm planning on putting it in currently. If things change, I'll let y'all know. Just a second here as I reach for the next piece. Sorry about that. Alright, so this one's got a little bit of an explanation behind it. You guys surely remember this Stampede Ecs Blaster, or the ECS 50 as it used to be known. This is a very sort of famous blaster in Nerf. This was the father of the Rapid Strike. It's got the hand guard up top, or the grip up top, that you can look through just like the Rapid Strike. It's got rails all over the place. It doesn't have a muzzle attachment like the Rapid Strike does, but it was full auto. This one was a Springer. This was before there was really a ton of flywheel blasters. So one of the accessories with it was the grip. And that was a really good, like, assault weapon kind of vertical grip. And it had this feature. You could use it as a bipod, you could shoot, whatever you take, fold it back up, so on. You know, that was a really neat accessory. A lot of people like that particular grip for the Stampede. And as some of you may recall, I won the Freak Stampede at FoamCon from the gentleman at Foam Freaks. I entered the raffle they had. This was the prize, which it was great to me because I'm friends with Valor of Valor's Blasters, and he did sort of the back end work and did some rewiring and things like that. He did some work on this blaster and did some beautiful, beautiful work. The gentleman at Foam Freaks did have a bipod on it when I won it, but they wanted that part back, which, you know, that was all well and good. I was fine with that. But I wanted something that kind of worked as a foregrip for it that looked good and kind of went along with the theme of the blaster. And I found this on Amazon. One thing I like about it is it has a little tack rail there on the side. See if I can get this on here. Mainly just attaching this for looks at this point. But that's got a look really similar to the grip that came standard with the Stampede. And we've got the deployable bipod out of it. That's a bit stouter of a spring, but that right there was exactly what I wanted. That was what I had to have when I saw that. I saw that was even an option. That screamed Freak Stampede to me. So I picked it up off of Amazon. You get it shipped with Prime. If this is something that y'all are interested in, I'm not an Amazon affiliate whatsoever, so I'll leave a link in the description for this item, and it's nothing to me if you use that link or go through something else, but that was just a really good pickup, I felt, and it went a long way to completing the look of that. Picked up another grip piece. This is for something else that I'll hopefully be working on a little bit later today, but I saw a grip like this on a video by Tungsten, and it's a Picatinny grip that folds. You have sort of horizontal or slightly angled mount, and then push the button and it locks in as a vertical mount that you can use, so you can go either way with it. I'm hoping to use that, like I said, on something I'll be working on a little bit later today. We'll see how that goes, and I'm hoping to find a decent angled foregrip to use, but I think that one's fairly nice for what I need for right now. And then lastly, I've got this rather large box here, but I want to get to that in a minute. As many of y'all know, I'm a big fan of Mega, and the Twin Shock is a very lovely example of what a Mega Blaster can be and what it can do. It's got a very smooth prime. I wish the Roto Fury primed that easily, but it's got a smooth prime. It's a little ratchety. Some people don't like that. On this blaster, I don't think it's too bad. And you've got 10 shots of hot dogs, as they call them, to fling at people. I really like the twin shock. Well, I got an opportunity to purchase from someone by the name of Letago out of the Fuzzy Walrus Discord a custom painted twin shock. Prime is a little bit stiffer. I'm going to assume because of the paint on it. But this is done in a Borderlands type style. I watched him paint this on the Fuzzy Walrus Discord. Not live or anything like that, but over the course of time that it took him to get this paint job in, I think he did a fair amount. I think this thing has just a ton of character. It's absolutely beautiful, and I really thank Letago for selling this to me. I think he might have been in a situation where he was needing money and needing to get rid of blasters because he had a couple of others for sale, but I had to have this one. It's a Mega Twin Shock, and it's in the Borderlands kind of painting style. I absolutely love this and had to have it. So thank you, Letago, for getting this out to me. And that's going to bring us to the end of this video. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. I'm not in it for likes, not in it for subs. I'm not in this for money. I'm just passionate about the hobby, and I like to share things with you guys like this beautiful twin shock. So, I thank y'all for stopping by and watching this video. I appreciate those that have subbed to me. I appreciate those that like the video. Any questions, comments, whatever, drop them down below. I'll have appropriate links to things in the description. I'm filming this shortly after Thanksgiving. It'll probably be a couple of weeks before it comes out. Probably early December by how I've got my videos scheduled. But that's what I've got for y'all today. So thank you for coming by, and remember to keep flinging that foam.